Hello, hello, hello. J Nell here with another 5 minute movie review. And like I always say, I do have small spoilers, nothing major, nothing to ruin the movie. You could see this review and easily go ahead and still watch the movie and still be fine. But if you're like me and you don't even want to know what the main character's shoe color is, whether it has something to do with the plot or not, then you go ahead and skip this until you go ahead and watch the movie. So this time we are doing A Quiet Place 2, directed by John Krasinski. Now, this movie actually takes place right as the last movie left off. However, the opening scene is a flashback. Now, you knew that John was going to find a way to put himself in the movie through flashbacks, and there is more than one, so I was expecting this. And the first flashback is the day one, the very first attack. Him and his family actually suffered the very first attack, and so it happens, it's where they take place, which is outside. It's them being hit by it, it's them scrambling, it's them finding each other, losing each other. It's a whole lot of action. It's quite a lengthy opening scene, quite frankly, but it is very, very entertaining. And right off the bat, I kind of felt like, okay, yeah, so this is gonna have a lot more action. This is gonna feel like more of a creature feature than more than an actual like horror suspense what is it type of a movie, because we actually know what the creature is already. So I was expecting to see it more full on and to see it more in depth, which we did see. And I still didn't see I didn't think it was overexposed, because again, we already know what it looks like. So they turned it more into a action creature feature rather than a horror, what is this type of a suspense tense thriller. Now, the family itself, of course, it's the same family except for the dad. And one of the things that bothered me throughout the entire movie is one of the things I liked about the first movie. So I thought that the cooperation, the communication with the family was excellent. The main characters, I thought, made smart decisions, or at least good decisions. You know, you got to make some bad decisions for the sake of the movie to go forth. But I actually liked how this movie functioned in the first movie, whereas in this second movie, I thought they were kind of scatterbrained. The lack of communication, they all seemed to be going off doing their own things, and it caused for a lot of issues within the movie. Now, I think some of that was so we could have more plot in the movie, more things happening in the movie. But it did frustrate me, seeing as how one of the things I liked about the first is that they didn't make these reckless decisions. They were very reckless in this movie. Now, thinking back on it, I was like, well, you know, they just lost the dad. So that could explain why this family is disjointed. Also, something happens to the son kind of early on, which would further disjoint this family. So but you don't actually, if that's not confirmed in this movie, what that this is the reason why this family is acting out of character. However, that is my speculation is why we see that. There's a part in this movie where the son makes a decision where I just wanted to smack him. But also, I thought, you know what, he might not be in his right mind because of what happened to him, without giving it away. So again, it does make sense, but then it doesn't make sense. There are other threats. There's other people who are threats in this movie. We see some of the consequence of that, the recklessness of dealing with other people. Cillian Murphy comes in this movie. You see him in the first scene in the flashback, which ties him to how they know him when they come upon him in this movie, as you kind of see in the trailer. He's kind of minding his own business, and they crash his entire world with their recklessness. They compromise him in so many ways that I was quite annoyed. She manipulates him into doing something for her that I was like, girl, have you lost your mind? I was extremely annoyed by this. And then again, thought again, and I was like, you know, she's in straight primal survival mode. She just lost the man. She is a woman with 3 kids, a newborn, and both her kids are technically compromised. She needs a man. And I know this is 2021, and I'm saying women can't do with it, but in this situation, she actually needs a man. She needs somebody who's more physically capable than her to help protect her and her kids. So when you think of it that way, it's like you do whatever you have to do to get this man to help you protect you and your children. So when I thought of it like that, it made more sense. One of the other things, they might as well not have put Djimon Hounsou in the previews, because he's really not in this movie. I like that we go more into exploration of the creatures. We find how they're kind of not really coordinated. We find other weaknesses with them, and you can tell that by the end of this movie that they're gearing up for this whole coming back. The people are coming back, or one last stand, and we're going to try to come back and mount some kind of offense towards these creatures. It really does kind of set this movie up for a third movie, the way the climax of this movie goes down. And again, Jaimin is, he's basically used for that purpose. He's used for that purpose to get to this part in the movie, to kind of figure out what's happening, to see that we're going to set this up for a comeback in the next movie, if that's even possible. So all in all, I did like the movie, even though as I was watching it live, I was annoyed by several different points. But when I thought about it later on, it made more sense. So maybe they could have put that in the movie. I don't know. Either way, it did eventually come together for me. So I do like the movie, and I do recommend it. See it in the theaters, because again, there's more action in the movie, and I think I'm going a little bit over, so that's it. I think that is it. Like I said, I recommend it, and due to it being more of a creature feature, more of an action feel, I do actually recommend you see it in theaters. It's probably already gone into the other platforms, so either way, I do recommend the movie, especially if you like the first one. So that is it for my review of A Quiet Place 2. As far as my wants in the future, because I do think there's going to be a third movie. I do think there's going to be a third movie. So my wants for the third movie is maybe to explain, because the movie kind of really takes it's really kind of shot for shot. There's not a lot of dead time. There's not any lingering moments to really explain and do exposition in the movie. So maybe you could do a little bit of that here, maybe explain why the family, or how the family is dealing with the loss of everything they've gone through, and how it's affecting the way that they normally would work together. Maybe just kind of go into that more, the emotional state of the family, the psyche of the family a little bit more, to keep us more emotionally attached to the characters and more evolved to what's actually going on in the movie. Melt the two, melt that in there with, again, expanding the whole creature feature, and don't get sucked into it just being this monster hunter fest, which the third one could easily turn into. So use the emotional state of the family to blend that with the whole mountainous defense, to make this feel like a more well-rounded movie, and don't slip into those tropes that you kind of see with trilogies. So yeah, that's it for my wants, and you go ahead and let me know about your wants, how you felt about A Quiet Place 1 and A Quiet Place 2. I thought this was such a fresh idea when the first movie came out, so I'm happy that I like this sequel as well. So yeah, y'all let me know how you feel about this creature feature / horror movie, A Quiet Place 2. If you're here, please subscribe, and please like the video if you haven't already. Please follow me on all platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. I'm on TikTok now, and get the conversation going. Please comment, please hit the notification as well. Subscribe, like, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.